For all the championship banners, MVPs, and confetti showers, there's one reality the Kansas City Chiefs can't ignore as they march into the 2025 NFL season. The defensive line needs help, not just another rotational piece, not a flyer in free agency. Kansas City needs someone or several someones who can actually get after the quarterback on a consistent basis. Because right now, outside of Chris Jones, that kind of player doesn't exist on the roster. Yes, George Karlaftis continues to grow into a reliable edge presence. But after him and Jones, the pressure disappears. And when that happens, defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo is forced to go full Spags mode, sending heat from everywhere, calling creative blitzes, and putting extra pressure on the secondary to hold tight while defenders swarm. It worked in 2024, barely. But relying on Spagnuolo's wizardry every week isn't a sustainable strategy. He knows it. Vitch knows it. And so does everyone in the AFC West. That's why the 2025 NFL Draft is crucial. Not just for the trenches, but for the overall identity of Kansas City's defense moving forward. Nate Taylor of The Athletic summed it up perfectly. Steve Spagnuolo, the longtime defensive coordinator, loves tall, strong, versatile defensive linemen. The Chiefs have players that fit that description in Chris Jones, George Karlaftis, Charles Omenihu, Jerry Tillery, and Janarius Robinson. But only Jones and Karlaftis are on the team's salary cap sheet for 2026. The Chiefs should prioritize adding youth and dynamic athleticism to their pass rush this year. And here's the kicker. This draft is loaded with defensive line depth. Plenty of prospects will fall into the middle and late rounds, not because of talent, but because other franchises can't scout or develop like Kansas City. That's the moment where the Chiefs strike gold. One name to keep a close eye on: Ahmed Hassanein, the raw but relentless sleeper from Boise. State he's not a first rounder. He's not flashy, but he might be exactly what Kansas City needs: standing. 6'4" with a compact, powerful frame, Hassanein plays with a non-stop motor and has shown flashes of dominance despite being relatively new to football. His production at Boise State caught the attention of scouts, and while he's still learning the nuances of technique and recognition, his natural traits jump off the screen. NFL analyst Lance Zierlein describes him like this: bulky 4'3", defensive end with a strong motor and impressive production, but a lack of NFL-ready instincts. He's tough but limited and misses a lot of tackles. What makes Hassanein intriguing is his relentless style. He doesn't win with finesse. He wins with grit, second effort energy, and physicality. And let's be honest, that's exactly the kind of edge Spagnuolo loves to coach up. Let him sit behind Karlaftis and Charles Omenihu, get coached by one of the league's best defensive minds, and suddenly you might have a legitimate rotational pass rusher by mid-season and a potential starter down the road. Don't be surprised if Spags turns him into the next breakout pass rusher in the AFC. Since their arrival, Karlaftis and McDuffie haven't just filled holes, they've redefined expectations at their positions in Kansas City. In 3 seasons, Karlaftis has become one of the league's rising edge rushers, tallying 15 total. Tackles 24.5, sacks 93, quarterback pressures 1, forced fumble, and McDuffie. He's taken his game to another level, developing into one of the most versatile and disruptive cornerbacks in the NFL. Through 3 years, he's logged 103 total tackles, 2 interceptions, 27 passes defensed and forced fumbles, 4.5 sacks now, as we barrel toward the 2025 NFL Draft. A different kind of deadline looms. May 1st, the final day to exercise the 5th-year option on the 2022 first-rounders. So far, no decisions made. But don't panic. This is Kansas City. There's a plan. General Manager Brett Veach made it clear in his pre-draft press conference that the team isn't ignoring the situation. In fact, once the draft wraps, Karlaftis and McDuffie are next in line for serious talks. Once this process ends, we'll be in discussions with Trey Smith trying to get him done, Veach told reporters. And then I'm sure at some point, here with George and Trent, we're going to have dialogue with them. In other words, the front office isn't sleeping. They're stacking priorities, not neglecting them. And if you're wondering whether the team drafting a defensive end or cornerback this year might signal a shift in plans, It won't. I don't think that'll affect it at all, Veach. Ash continued. I think those are players that you want in a Kansas City uniform for a long time. Those are two premium positions, so you can never have enough of those players. That's exactly the right mindset. Edge rusher and cornerback are premium positions in today's NFL. Elite pass rushers disrupt game plans. Shutdown corners erase number one receivers. These are the positions that win you playoff games and decide Super Bowls. And the Chiefs have struck gold with both. If you're a Kansas City Chiefs fan, you already know the duo of Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce is nothing short of legendary. 3 Super Bowl rings, endless highlight reels, and a brotherhood that's redefined the quarterback tight end. Connection in the NFL. But now these two icons are cooking up something new. And this time, it's literally fire. Feving 7 Prime. The high-end steakhouse venture backed by Mahomes and Kelce is officially scheduled to open this summer in the heart of Kansas City, according to People magazine. The restaurant, developed in partnership with hospitality powerhouse Noble 33, is shaping up to be more than just another celebrity-themed hangout. It's a bold culinary statement from two players who've already left their mark on the field and are now ready to do the same in the world of fine dining. Located inside the sleek modern Lowe's Kansas City Hotel, 1587 Prime will occupy 10,000 square feet spread across 2 luxurious floors and will feature private dining rooms and multi-sensory experiences aimed at creating a one-of-a-kind atmosphere. Subtle details throughout the space will honor Mahomes and Kelce, not in flashy, over-the-top ways, but in refined, tasteful nods to their journey, their chemistry, and their legacy. Travis and I have become frequent visitors of Noble 33, our restaurants in other cities, Mahomes said in the official release. So it only made sense to bring something special to our own community in Kansas City. That community, by the way, is already buzzing, with fans counting down the days to training camp and longing for the return of Chiefs football. The summer opening of 1587 Prime could not be better timed. It'll give Kansas City residents, fans, and food lovers alike a new reason to head downtown and a chance to step inside a world built by two of their biggest sports heroes. Together, they're not just athletes, they're brands. And 1587 Prime is the next phase of that evolution. The name itself, 1587, is a fusion of Mahomes and Kelce's jersey numbers 15 and 87, symbolizing the unity and partnership they've built since becoming teammates. It's not just a marketing gimmick, it's a reminder of the trust, timing, and connection that's brought Kansas City so much glory over the past half-decade. It's not something Chiefs Kingdom wants to think about, but it's a reality that's creeping closer with every passing snap. The 2025 NFL season could be the last for Travis Kelce. Kelce admitted he strongly considered retirement before ultimately deciding to give it one more go. It's the kind of phrasing that feels definitive. A farewell tour. One last ride in red and gold. And if 2025 is in fact the final chapter, then Kansas City must start thinking about what comes next, right now. That's why the latest mock draft from ESPN's Mel Kiper Jr. is raising eyebrows in all the right ways. In it, the Chiefs select tight end Harold Fannin Jr., one of the most intriguing offensive playmakers in the entire 2025 class. Fannin led the nation in receiving last season with 555 yards, Kiper wrote. Kansas City could use him in a multitude of ways, and he could even develop into Travis Kelce's eventual replacement. The numbers are eye-popping, and not just for a tight end. 1 in 555 receiving yards, regardless of position, is elite. Production. Fannin isn't just some big body target who sits in the flat and picks up 6 yards. He's a downfield threat, a dynamic pass catcher with elite hands, crisp route running, and deceptive top-end speed. Of course, he's not a perfect prospect. He's still raw as a blocker and needs to round out the physical part of his game. But that's exactly why landing in Kansas City would be a dream scenario. Imagine this. Fannin gets 12 months of mentorship from Travis Kelce, learning not just how to play tight end in the NFL, but how to become the centerpiece of the most innovative offense in football. The meetings, the routes, the off-script improvisations with Mahomes, all of it. By 2026, Fannin wouldn't just be a promising rookie. He'd be the heir to the throne, groomed directly by the greatest to ever do it. And let's be honest, This transition isn't optional. Even with Jared Wiley entering his second year and showing flashes of promise, tight end is too critical to this offense to leave to chance. Kelce has been the emotional heartbeat and schematic cheat code of this team for a decade. You don't just replace that with one draft pick. You plan for it, and you layer depth so that the post-Kelce era doesn't start with question marks. And hope. Harold Fannin Jr. could be that bridge. He's not Kelce, no one is, but he offers something Kansas City desperately needs for the future: explosiveness at tight end with long-term upside. In Andy Reid's system, Fannin would likely be used almost exclusively as a pass-catching weapon, at least early on. He wouldn't be asked to seal edges or pancake linebackers. Instead, picture him lining up in motion, splitting out wide, or running choice routes across the middle. Exactly the kind of role Kelce has thrived in. Could he split reps with Kelce during the 2025 season? Maybe. But even if he starts slow, the long game is what matters here, because like it or not, the Kelce era is winding down. And while the Chiefs still have major needs at offensive line and running back, there's no need more delicate or more urgent than preparing for life without number 87. If Harold Fannin Jr. is on the board when the Chiefs pick, and Brett Veach believes in the ceiling, then the decision should be clear. Start building the future now, while greatness is still in the room to guide it.